How about the Mode 7, too? Oh, yeah. Okay, so what we can do with this one is we're back on the surface. We have to go to Mysidia. That's the next plot point. But when we come back from the moon, it will lock us into the next dungeon, and I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for that kind of commitment. So we're going to hit the castle first and tie up one last loose end, because I happen to like having this handy when we go to the moon. The cave magnes could be pretty bad, but the spot where you're on the moon the first time, your levels are a little low. Rydia in particular, really squishy, even with a back rank defense bonus. It's just not really worth it to... it's just pretty difficult to keep your people alive and healthy when you go through there. So I like having the summon handy for some of the trash fights, and just use a lot of tents to deal with... Use a lot of tents to deal with the MP. Or I guess cabins. Might as well start getting cabins, because the girls need a lot more than the 100 MP. Alright, so here's the problem. Rydia doesn't have Lit 3. That's not the end of the world. We can still make this work. But I may end up needing to turn the battle speed down if I can't make up the difference without it. Don't be sad. Loving how this whole, like, legendary warrior becoming a summon monster thing works, but... Okay. So the problem is he's pretty beastly in combat, too. Let's switch to full offense, and... Oh, that's not bad. We definitely want to slow him down. And, yeah, Cecil's going to be just fine using that. Usually I like to do one virus once again to get the fast cast, to get the sap effect kicked in. It does a lot of damage too. I think we'll do one more basic attack with Edge, and then we'll see how his Blitz spell counteract or Blitz spell stacks up. Okay, so he's slowed, and then we're going to haste. Probably haste. Cecil's already about as fast as he can be with Berserk. His haste Rydia. Oh, he's already starting to do his thing. Well, in that case, we're probably only going to have time for one more, so let's see if it's enough. Let's... Not bad. Oh, that was enough. That's intense. Yeah, once he gets his, once he puts the sword up, you've got about probably like 3 more ATB cycles. You know, everybody gets a turn until everybody just dies. Odin works much like he does in the other Final Fantasies. He will instantly kill enemies he's eligible against, and otherwise will do nothing. And this is before they had the Gungnir alternate attack to deal with enemies they couldn't kill in one shot. So if it doesn't work, then it's just a waste of time. And I think Odin goes off of instant kill or death in this game, which is good because, you know, Rydia's, you're never going to waste your time with Rydia's death spell. I gotta say, you know, instant death is one of those things I've never really been much of a fan of in these games. Even in D&D, where the whole Finger of Death thing started as a way of, it's like, hey, you know, part of the war game sense. It's like you need to remove a unit from the mortal coil. You need it from play, you know, you need it from life. Let's see. Oh, right, we need the airship, which means you need to switch to the Enterprise. Oh, the airship, the hovercraft. We have an airship, in fact. Let's go do that. Should be back at Cape Eblon, I believe. There we go. Which other games let you get multiple airships? I mean, come on. Let's So, and at the same time, I should amend. You know, in Skies of Arcadia, you eventually get multiple ships, but you'll only get one at a time. Once you get the Delphinus, that's pretty much it. Let's see, that's where that is. So Silvera should be just north of here, right? Just a little bit. Where's Tesselis Hussup to bring up the map? Oh, check this out too. Once Golbez gets all 8 crystals, his lunar tower. What was like the space elevator? The space elevator gets turned on. It was. Is it just right over here? Oh, I think I was too far south. No, that's Mysidia. It's somewhere around here. Yeah, we've gone full circle again. Where is this stupid little town? There we go. Oh my gosh. That was embarrassing. And speaking of embarrassing, let's go deal with these guys. What'd be funny is if my people had barely survived after the Odin fight, and I actually got killed by some random encounter. Not bad, not bad. Oh. Okay, seriously? Round 2, guys. Double or nothing. It is always fun to be able to just tromp all over the fights that gave you trouble back in the day. Do you remember when we were first making our way to Cave Magnes, and those fights were actually a little tricky? So anyway, the reason why we do that is we're going to pay a visit to the guy in here, but can't actually follow up on this until later. That's a good idea to do now. Yeah, exactly, Lorax. Stingrat is a pretty great name for porcupines. And you know what? So you can actually come back here as soon as you come back into the hovercraft, but we won't get our tail until we make it through, I think, Sun Monsters. Hey, carrot looks like a tail, right? No? Rat tail. Adamant. This is, of course, all a reference to Final Fantasy I, where the rat tail was the proof of courage Bahamut wanted to give the Light Warriors a class change, and the adamant was the ore you needed to get the Excalibur. And interestingly enough, you even needed a dwarf to do that. So if you didn't see Cookhole's shop when you were back in the Dark World the first time, you'd probably get the hint that, probably at least, well, if you did, you know to go back to him now. If you didn't, you might think of, hey, we take this to a dwarf, so that give you a cue. That would be your cue to go start looking around for him. Sure enough, I love this little bit too. So he's in a funk. He can't. Already created his best works behind him. What else can we do? Well, we have an answer for you. Is this your adamant? No? Okay. So about that whole Mysidian legend. But yeah, this is the other reason. The primary reason is you never give up the legend sword is because it's lore importance with having the Mysidian prophecy engraved on it. Another reason is that you can get it turned into Cecil's second strongest sword. Come back later. Yep. So the cue for this one is coming back after the moon, I believe. But yeah, good idea. You might as well get it turned in now, since that way you won't have to worry about it later. Excuse me. All right, so let's see. We've taken care of everything in the underworld. I think the next step is to go to the moon. How many games can you say that in? That aren't sci-fi, I mean. Mass Effect, you can say go to the moon. You couldn't think of it. Speaking of class change, remember Mass Effect 1? You should do go to the moon to get your class upgrade. Let's see, I think Mysidia was just northwest of Agart, or... Oh, I think it was just northeast, but regardless, here we are now. Let's go ahead and save again, too. All right. The Tower of Wishing. Let's hope he doesn't ask a Cecil to show his swords they can read off of it. About that. It's still one of my favorite versions of the prophecy. Because of course it gets rewritten every new localization. We need your energy, chat. Wish for the whale. Keen agrees. Yeah, exactly. Say the same reason too. DS version is a little too choked with the purple prose. I won't lie. I got a nice grin on my face. I love this. The cheesy. You know, we get our freaking whale spaceship. And the stirring, chorus as the big whale. That do your best, James Kirk with that one. One cool thing too is when the ship arises, it has that same crystal, like multicolored aura that the Tower of Babel has. Also, just makes me think that the Elder and Fusaya just have some kind of magic, magic walkie-talkie system. It is the ship from the moon. I just like that. With no further instruction, it's like, yep, you talk to the crystal. We need to go to the moon. And Cecil's like, okay. So yeah, whenever you go into the big whale. It pulls you in here instead of immediately taking flight. You have your own sacred bird. You have your own... Yeah, and I also just remembered to go head by Fabel and go grab a lightning claw for Edge. I'll go sell that diamond armor too. Yeah. But you basically, the crystal will send you to the moon, and the computer, I guess it's a flight computer, will let you pilot it around. See, look at that. Totally a whale. Okay. Let's see, Fabel was directly north, and then kind of the neighboring continent. So that's Troya. Right, here we go. It still takes up one space on the map, even though it looks a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger on the inside, too. Okay, so let's see. I don't think I need anything else from here. No new locations opened up, not much of anything. So yeah, we'll just sell some stuff, buy a new claw. And, because yeah, the chat reminded me earlier, it can be a good idea to give Edge one of those for all the lightning enemies coming up. Alright, so let's see, what can we drop? I might actually keep the Blitz Whip for Iridia, knowing what we got coming up. So we're going to put the Aegis Shield back on when we're done with the Avenger. Claw's fine. I might need the Fire Shield. Well, not if I have the Aegis Shield. Yeah, we'll do that. Likewise, I think I'm just going to switch Cecil's armor out, because if he only resists one, because basically the deal with the... I don't know if I've elaborated on this before, but the deal with the fire and the elemental armor, I think it is armor he needs, yeah, is that it resists the type listed, but it makes you vulnerable to the other one. Well, if you have both elements equipped, then you're resistant to both of them because resistance overrides the vulnerability. But if you don't have room for that, like you don't have the, you want to upgrade your gear, so you don't have both of those equipped, Or in this case, we're using a two-handed weapon for Cecil. It's just not worth it because they're vulnerable to the other kind. So we're just going to stick with this for now. And yeah, we'll just sell that ice armor too. I think we can always buy more anyway. Yeah, I think what I'll do is keep the shields handy. Actually, no, I sold the shields, yeah, because we'll use the Aegis anyway, right? Because even better would just be avoiding the attack in the first place. All right. And Rosa is using charm arrows, okay? Are we doing it on space? Yeah, that's pretty good. Light sword. Yeah, as soon as we get the Excalibur, we can sell the light sword. And given how much money we have, I'm probably going to start throwing stuff away, too. Speaking of throwing... Right, you can't buy Shuriken from... Or can you from Eblon? I think you can from Eblon. Let's go... Let me go do that real quick, too. Because really, at this point, what else am I going to spend my money on? So, let's do that. And I have to do that. I have to pick up the Enterprise, which is going to be back at... Let's see, Enterprise will be at Mysidia, so that's going to be there. You know what? We don't need the Shuriken to beat the next thing. Let's just go to the moon. Yeah, you all don't want to have to put up with me having to try to find a Silvera again. So let's save. To the moon. For the power. Plus, after we get done with the Excalibur, Kokol will start selling the... oh, those graphics. We'll start selling Shuriken anyway, so... Alright, so there are a couple things we can do here. There is a... This is our ultimate destination, but due to some terrible Department of Transportation work, it's full of potholes, so we can't land anywhere near there. We have a cave there we can hop into. That's where the Hummingways are, and we'll do that later. And then we have this cave. We can actually go fight Bahamut now and use Rydia's summons to go help out in the next dungeon. Bang! Zoom! Straight to the moon. But I believe how this works is that we can grab Fusoya, and as long as we don't actually use the crystal, we should be able to, as long as we don't use the crystal to go back to Earth, we should be able to take him around, and having another person that can cast Wall would be really good for dealing with Bahamut. You can also see how small the moon is, because we're just kind of, lazily flying about, and we've already cycled the map, So, I think we land here and work our way around to it. No, not there. In that case... That's right. No, we land somewhere else. Yeah, we land up here, walk to that one, and then we have... yeah, that'll work. Okay. So this may come as a surprise to those of you that didn't take any science classes, but the moon is actually full of single-celled organisms, giant single-celled organisms, and sapient pudding and apocalyptic worms and everything. If this comes as a shock and you need to sit down, you feel free to do so. They also hit like freaking trucks too. I think we can hit them with that. That helps limit. Yeah, this will help limit the amount of pain we've got heading our way at any given time. Yeah, status effects, especially ones you can cast for free, do not underestimate them. Right, Cecil. I like the Avenger, but I'm thinking this screwing with the targeting may not really be worth it. Yeah, probably not worth it. Especially since I can equip him with a defender and give him more defense too. Whereas Lorax still believes the moon is made of cheese, like so Wallace and Gromit. That vampire animation. Even when it's not Bats doing it, it's still annoying to slow down. Jeez. Okay. So they have like 5,000 hit points. Alright, so next time I think I'll double check to see if they're weak to anything as well. But, so anyway, let's do the defense sword and Aegis shield. We're going to rely on Cecil to tank for this part. And I love the music here, though. You might remember this played when Cecil met his dad in the top of the ordeals. This is a fight that I like using Odin for, because those things do a lot of damage, they have a lot of HP, they're just a pain to fight, but fortunately their HP is low enough to actually fall under the window at which Odin is able to kill them. See, Edge is blocking and still taking hundreds and hundreds of damage. Or not in this version. Okay. Alright, alright. This is what I get for not refreshing myself with the game I'm actually playing instead of one I played before. Maybe it was a different encounter on the moon, I'm remembering. Well, in that case, Leviathan, you do it. What are we looking at? Everybody's hurt a little bit, so. First encounter, busting out Odin with, and he doesn't even do it. Okay. Yeah, well, Leviathan, mop this stuff up. That does the trick, at least. Yeah, this thing, they're worth fighting because they're worth so much XP and gold. But, yeah. Alright, Cecil can heal that. We'll have Rosa deal with the HP. But yeah, that's a big problem with this one, is just some really brutal slugfest fights, and just over and over and over again until you're through. In a way, I kind of like the Bahamut Cave, because you have the behemoths you handle completely differently. Balloons and grenades. We also put the full moon boomerang back on Edge for this one. Have Rosa do some sniping too. Okay. As I recall, the grenades in the back are the stronger ones. So those were the ones one hit with the weaknesses. And when in doubt, a little charm in the ranks. Yeah, there we go. So I remembered that right. Yeah, the Charm Rod is good for Rydia's MP, and it's really good for messing up the turn counts like that. Because basically, even if... Oh, I should amend. Like, some enemies are scripted to do things like cast Vampire on you as their attack. So even if they're confused, they will still do that. We've seen that happen a couple times. But for enemies that can attack themselves or their teammates, Charm will queue up, will replace whatever they were doing, and so queue up another attack. So even, at the very least, you're basically costing them a turn. And if you're not going to be having Rydia use your MP anyway, because you're saving it to summon Leviathan to kill amiibos, then there you go. This is a pretty good sequence here. Each of them kills one enemy, and then Rydia buys us a turn, and it gives the Edge time to kill it. I don't think we need to kill back up after this one. Yeah, I really like it. I kind of wish there was just an easier way to manage the inventory. Like maybe change the sort so that you could, basically when people try to equip things, it would only show up the stuff they could actually equip. That would make it a lot less painful to deal with the weaknesses. I think also next time I might rearrange these spells to put put the more commonly cast ones up top, and save some time there. Another chest here. don't think these are trapped. Yeah. It's kind of pointless goodies, too. Also, I guess you forgot to go and actually... buy those... the heals, the Phoenix Downs, and heal potions I was talking about. But one good single cell attack deserves another. So that's actually not too bad. So the HP is nowhere near high enough for Odin to not work, so I guess they must just be immune to instant death. So maybe have... Yeah, I think I might have Rosa and Rydia team up, and then have the guys, team up on theirs. That should probably do it. Oh, actually, Edge on a good roll will do it in one, so cool. And a good turn means I should probably just re-equip his stronger weapon, and we should be good to go. Speaking of stronger weapon, I should probably try to mash those worms if they come back. Because they do cast spells. Well, they cast Vampire. I don't know if that counts. One more cave to deal with. It is kind of silly how they block your progress with those potholes. Oh no, we can't land our gigantic spaceship here. It doesn't look like it actually has landing pads or anything like that. Boomerang, good, so good. Jeez. A back rank enemy even. Well, yeah, there's so much for that. Okay. Let's see what they're weak to. I think the puddings are weak to nothing. So we just have to use magic of some kind on them. Oh, good to know. 1,000. Nothing. Okay. Well, at least we know. So how about some ninja magic? And if... I don't think anything Cecil casts... Yeah, even the defense doesn't do anything. I don't think anything Cecil casts would be any good here, so... Ooh, that's pretty bad. So my thought here is to get Rydia pop back up, have Cecil cover her with the Wily's guarding, and then have her finish them off with... Let's see, he did about... So I think Bio should finish the job. Jeez. Even guarding has 500 damage. Okay. Well, we'll do it your way then. I wonder if the puddings were the enemy I was thinking of. That, you know what? What are the puddings were the enemies I was thinking of that you used Odin on? Because the flan type enemies tend to be weak to magic. Anyway, sort. We are running low on life potions. I think we can buy those from the Hummingways though before we head on. Alright, so everybody needs a cure, so let's just do it this way. So if the cure 4 cures everybody to about 800, that gives about 400, but it costs half as much. Yeah. Might as well just use 2 Curagas instead of 1 Curaja, save a little bit of MP. So yeah, next time I see the flans, I'm going to try to use Odin on them. Nice. Oh, not quite enough. Okay. But regardless, we know those guys get softened up enough that any spell from Rydia should finish it. And we have a full heal coming up as soon as we get to the building here. So that should be good. Yep. Yeah, I think it must have been the puddings that I used Odin on. There was one, yeah, I remember just there being one really tough fight that you wanted to have Odin handy to deal with when you only had 1 black magic caster to fight them with. So you don't have Fusoya yet. Heal. Alright. So we can give it a save here. If I remember right, this is also the only version of the game that has a certain bug bug glitch kind of thing. This is the panel we want. So Rose heal everybody up. One more. There we go. I remember the right one? I did. Actually, I think it's the same way as Damcyan. You have the Damcyan, I think I called it. You have the healing on the left and the MP on the right. There's a crystal flashing Moon Man calling card. Dude, this has to make a stylish entrance. This is Fusoya. He is the last party member we get, and the last rotating one. Also, Keen might remember this one better than I do, because I don't remember much of the dialogue and stuff, but I seem to remember the later versions of the games, scrubbed the references to this being like our solar system. And that being said, that the tidbit about evolution and everything ended up being one of the few things the sequel actually ran with. His thoughts were still awakened. Zemus. We have a name. We of course know who Kluya is. I guess we're supposed to assume that Kluya lived among the Earthlings for many years before finally falling in love, and then died pretty much immediately after that. Poor guy. I forgot the plural on machinations there, but yeah, if you actually try to fly an airship at the Tower of Babel or land in the underworld and walk up to it, you will not be able to get in. I probably should have shown that off. So this is why, if you... I'm probably going to make a backup save here just in case I misremembered it. This is why if you go back to the world with the big whale, it will immediately take you to the Giant of Babel, because that's what Fusoya is here for. He's not going to put up with you messing around. This is the reason why I had Edge in the front row, because we get another mage here. So you have to have somebody. You can't have 4 back rankers and Cecil trying to block all the hits. So let's put... Oh, you can put a regular boomerang and not the full moon there. Oops. Let's see. That's 127. So it's 5 points more. I think I'm going to stick with the Mage Masher, and we'll go with that for now. Okay. So backup save. So here's this thing I was going to show you about. I think this only exists in this version of the game. But if you go up to one of the panels, I think it's this one. That must be the other one. But it actually triggers a fight. And is it this one, or is it something else? Kind of like the poison claw in the door. There it is. No idea why this is here, and this is a surprise, a test fight against some of the strongest enemies in the game. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a blink going on Edge and slow them down. I believe they're vulnerable to Stop and a couple other debuffs too. Possibly Petrify, maybe? Let's see. Or Stone. I don't actually have Stone yet. Oh yeah, I guess I'll get it till later. Let's stop this guy then. Fortunately, slow still works on darn near everything. Well, okay. Fusoya is much like Tella. He casts pretty much all spells, but has a fixed amount of MP to do it with. Yeah, let's just have him do... Let's see if that works. That did work. Okay. Well, in that case, let's do... make double the pleasure, double the fun, and stop that guy too. This one should be pretty easy. I might just re-equip Cecil with the Avenger, actually. And since, of course, we have our healing here, no reason to hold back on ours fast. I keep looking for H for haste, but it's actually F for fast. Why not? Throw the big guns in. Also... Oh! Look at Fusoya's like eyes changing color thing there. Here's a big problem. Meteo has an absurdly long cast time. I'm not even kidding. I think they're actually vulnerable to... Maybe they count as mages, too. No, they don't. Let's get this Petrify taken care of. They're going to unstop any minute now. Yeah, they have, like, I think either 12,000 or 15,000 or so HP. Yeah, there's one down. And... I didn't even see the Petrified Gauge creeping up on Rydia there. There we go. Nice. Gotta love it. And unfortunately, for farming, you can only do that. You can only do that the one time. All right, so let's get everybody's HP healed up once again. And see, is that everything? Yeah. Yeah, with the double stops and then all that magic firepower, didn't have much, weren't really at any risk of taking much damage in that fight. Make no mistake, the red giants could definitely mess you up if you don't lock them down first. Alright. So, with it being about that time, I'm going to go ahead and call Final Fantasy IV done here. Let's have some more calming music as we wind down here. We'll take about a 5-minute break, and then Ben will be taking over with Darkest Dungeon, although I'll also be here, just along for the ride with commentary and everything. So we have some fun stuff lined up for that, and hope you all stick around. And if not, have a good night. Yeah, we'll be back shortly.